welcome to it.
Hell.
That's the perfect beginning. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So here we are in an undisclosed basement in Harrisonburg, Virginia.
That's right.
Doing what we call a evergreen episode.
We should start over. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, all right. So we are here in my basement. This
In
is
your basement.
This is where the infamous Dr. Hal practices on every Thursday night.
I swear to God, I love this place.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful place to be, and I'm glad you're here with us.
Thanks, man.
Let me introduce you, by the way.
Okay.
So this is a completely off the rails episode. This is Christian Perritt with us here.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
We
don't have practice tonight.
We don't have practice tonight. So instead of practice, we decided we would waste our time together here.
In another way.
Yeah. Maybe calling it, or maybe saying waste your time is not the way that I should framework it.
I like to call it spending.
Spending the
There
time.
you go, Mike. It's an investment.
And we're investing the time. Ooh, nice. Okay. We are investing the time here in an undisclosed basement in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And we've decided to do another, what I like to call a vanity episode.
Oh.
Because we're going to talk about music. Specifically, we're going to talk about writing music.
Which is, that's a mystery wrapped in a burrito and in an enigma. It's a mysterious process. I think we should talk about it.
Yes. It's a good thing. Now, I will throw out there, my brother, who is not here with us this evening, he said to me this morning, actually, he said, you guys need to talk about the songs that you've written, he said.
Wow.
And he said...
Did he call them your little songs?
Your little songs.
You guys should go talk about your little songs. Yeah.
When he referred to me as George Harrison, I knew what he meant. This is John Lennon. You can have a song on the. We'll give you two.
That fun one you wrote about the sandwich.
Paul. Let's give George a song. That's a terrible accent. Sorry, Paul McCartney.
That's good.
He can probably hear me because Paul McCartney is a god.
I can do a really good Paul McCartney.
Let's hear it.
I can do. Hello, I am Paul McCartney.
That's wow. It's like he's here.
By the way, you reach a certain amount of jokes that you have in your life.
Yeah,
and then you just repeat them. That's one that,
And that happened how many years ago?
This was after I turned 18.
Oh, good. Well, that's the peak right there. All right. So what we're going to do, what we're trying to do here, I think, what we're going to do, there was episodes, I think 45, 55, something around. Anyway,
I was not here for that one.
Yeah, that's right. There were some other episodes where Dan Easley, Chris, and myself, we talked about some music that we had recorded in the past, and it was really a fun conversation because we talked about, I don't know, just how these songs came to be, and, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. So that's why I call it the Vanity episode, because it's all about ourselves. And we're going to try that tonight.
I love it, because it's also something, too, where you and Chris write. You're prolific. You write a lot of
You're
songs.
too kind.
No, it's you write a lot of stuff. And Chris will show up here at practice and be like, here's a new one. I'll be like that we've been playing recently? He's like, no, I wrote it like 45 minutes ago.
Absolutely,
like, bastard. And my brother and I have talked about that too, where my brother has written some of the best songs I've ever heard. Mm-hmm. Like they're some of my favorite songs.
Yeah, agreed.
And
hello, William.
Oh, hi, William.
I'm sure he's an avid listener.
Of course. He's all the way from Colorado. He went through a period of a couple of years where he just wrote just many songs, and then, like me, I didn't go through that. I didn't write that many at that point, but he went just through a drought of 20 years,
right? And
then has recently started writing again.
See, that to me is very interesting. We just had an interview with a musician. I don't remember what episode it was now, but it was Todd Schlabach.
Oh, yeah.
And
one of the most fun names to pronounce.
Yeah, right.
Schlabach.
He had mentioned he as well is just going through kind of a renaissance of writing music. And my question was, what makes that happen?
Long COVID.
Well, his answer was interesting because it was I'm not quite sure. You know what I mean? It's like, and it is weird because I don't know. I've definitely gone through it myself where like I'll go through a writing song stage where I'm just writing and loving it and yay and then for some reason it just stops, and sometimes it can be a month, sometimes it could be several years.
It's funny. I should have tried this earlier, but when William was writing so many songs, he had gone through a songwriter circle, and it was like a songwriting class. It was a songwriting group, and what he said it made him write. So yeah, he didn't like keep a lot of the ones that he wrote for the class. If I'm remembering this right, if I'm not, he'll beat me up, or he'll try. But it made him go home, and then he'd write. Those muscles were worked out and were stretched and ready. And it was actually the guy sitting across the table from me that when I wrote the last song that I wrote, it had been over 15 years since I'd written a song.
That's a drought is what that is.
That's a bit of a drought. Maybe like 17 or 18.
Oh my
anyway,
Lord.
Yeah, and I remember going through, there was a practice one time, I was like, I got this chord progression, but no. And we started talking about songs that we had, started and never finished.
Right.
And I was like, I've got probably 100
over
the past 15 years. And I believe your words to me was, hey, idiot, stop doing that. So
that sounds like me. Yeah. I insult all the time. People dear to me. I just... Relentless. I didn't appreciate that you called me face.
Oh, can we say that? We can't say that on this.
We could say it. It will be bleeped.
It'd be bleeped. Okay. All right.
Good. He said pretty face.
He did. So I'm making you edit. So yeah, I went actually after we had that conversation that summer. I was like, well, I'm not going to leave vacation without the song finished.
Right.
So I put aside time every day. I would go for these walks on the beach, and I was like, all right. And they're pretty much the beginning of the walk. I'm like, I got nothing. And then I would just know that, all right, I'm going to turn things over in my head. I was like, holy crap. I just wrote another verse.
Right.
And then I was like, all right, tomorrow I'm going to have the chorus finished. Came back from it, and I was like, got the chorus finished.
So like a focus. Yeah.
It was, And so maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like a metered focus. Like, that's interesting. I would even call it a strategy, perhaps.
Well, I was like, how the hell am I going to write a song?
Yeah.
I've got to force myself to do it. So
yeah. No, I get that. Or maybe
now the result was total crap. But...
We're going to hear it in just a second. Because I definitely don't think it's crap. It's interesting to me. You mentioned walking because it's almost cliche, the walk on the beach, but like
mowing grass.
Right.
Oh.
I will. I tend to think that like songs kind of come from the ether, and they just happen to be there, and you pick them up, and it is usually when I'm walking, and that's to me is interesting. I'm not sure if it's just the rhythmic structure, and you're just like, I'm going. I don't know.
I have voicemails from that during that drought. I've got voice memos recorded on my phone when I'm walking, so it sounds like, and it's like, okay, the chorus, totally.
Yeah. Oh,
the chorus is like it's like in G or something. It's like, and then they go E minor, and I come back and I try to make sense of it.
Yes.
2 hours later, I'm like, I have no idea what I meant.
Yeah.
This song's called Seashell. I mean, nothing.
Well, let's listen to that song. So Beach Walk, because that's what I have on the phone. It's already up.
It's already up.
So
this is a crappy recording, but we don't have a recording of this yet.
So, okay.
This is done on the acapella app.
Yes,
with multi-track.
I think that's important to say because I too am going to pull from very non-professional sources.
Awesome.
But I also think that there is an undefinable characteristic that comes from recording something on your own, and it doesn't matter what the medium is, whether it's because I remember reading a story about John Lennon and like 3 or 4 tape recorders back in the late 70s, and he's got them all on the bed lined up, and he's hitting record so he can multi-track.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure it sounded like crap, but that doesn't matter. It's the energy in creating a song, especially when you have a little traction in your mind and you feel like something's got some forward motion and you start to build on it. All of a sudden, it's kind of like, oh, I like how this works. I like how that works. And I think that is very cool.
Can I mention the album that we were? Well, you can always cut it out, but we were listening to the Robbie St. Hours. And I actually don't know if I would want that recorded any other way. That's
right.
It's rough. You can hear the noise floor come way up in between the songs and everything. That's That's Gone Songs by Tom Kilday. It's another album that it doesn't sound bad, but it was recorded on a 4-track.
Right.
And I think there's a drum machine involved. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Right.
It's perfect.
I don't.
I actually wore that tape out.
Is that right?
It's completely busted.
Back when you could wear your music out. Even, CDs too, I think will eventually die, right? Don't they eventually
Well, you use them for coasters, so. That's not...
All right. What can you tell us about this song? This, I mean, I'll introduce it. It's called Room Full of Stars.
Right. Oh, God.
Boom.
Bam.
Right.
I was going to call it Interloper, and then Mike said, the song is Room Full of Stars.
Oh,
said,
right.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
That's right.
It is.
That's
it
right.
totally is.
Because,
You steered me right in so many.
No. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play. And
Sure. A little setup for this. A funny thing is Howdy Shell was talking about this, and he goes, well, in that song, you blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, the song isn't about me, but it is about me. But it's
every song that you write is about you.
Exactly. Oh, very well. Okay, I'm not trying to cop out.
No, it's
But
I completely understand. Even though when you make a character,
that's the thing.
It's still reflected of you.
Completely. Yeah. So, and I've had people with some of the songs I've written ask, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
it's like a guy who's, I exaggerated by 100 how I felt one night, and then another part of the song is like, no, that's pretty much me. So but this one is
I don't. I try to step away from those conversations as far as
I should have.
Is that you? Are you saying this? Is it to me? Every song is just an expression, and because
you can't hand out note cards about here's what it's about.
Yeah, right.
People are going to hear it.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Anyways, all right. So this is
Room Full of Stars.
Room Full of Stars. We'll hit play and see what happens.
Okay.
And what app did you use to record this?
Acapella.
Acapella.
Yeah. It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
You got to figure out how to mic things with an iPhone set of headphones.
Right.
And this is me trying to play bass as well.
Oh, man. Right. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah. You're too hard on yourself.
I should never stray so far from home. It's always bad and kind of sad when I find myself all alone at some house party out of a dream. Fake Pabst and trucker caps never say what they mean, and I try to breathe.
By the way, fake Pabst is people who liked PBR, but later in life.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Later in life.
Yeah, they're not me in high school.
I'm an old outlier, not a young heart taker. I'm a navel gazer who doesn't know where they are.
I love the term navel gazer.
Thanks.
I think that's fun.
That's an antiquated phrase.
Right.
I'm an interloper in a room full of stars.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, you're too kind. That was something that I was going to call it interloper.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's a little bit putting it too much out there.
I gotcha. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Your comment was great. You were like, no, it's called Room Full of Stars.
Smart crack about a heart attack or the color of my shoe.
All right, that's 100% me. Yeah.
Now my beer is warm and the room is cold.
And you've got a little percussion thing going on with your guitar.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I love that.
90 years old and I try to
By the way, the previous verse, I was one of the things I was proud about was saying "tan legs" over by the keg. Tan legs is not a phrase; that's a name. That's
okay.
like that. Oh yeah, you got a baseball cap over there, and you got fake overalls over there, and she's tan legs. Yeah.
Not a young partaker.
It's all part of the story building.
All part of
I'm a
the.
navel gazer. Doesn't know where they are. I'm a wallflower. Scouting off the hours. I'm an interloper.
So how many tracks you got going on here? Obviously
That's
there's
so weird. I was trying to think of that. And there's lead work here.
Yeah.
It's indulgent, so you can edit this part out.
no, we're listening to the whole thing.
This was 2 guitar tracks with a vocal. So
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. This is 3.
Okay. Oh, listen to those chops.
Well, this has a lot to do too with how you and Chris. I learned a lot from you guys as far as composition of a song, like how to make it like, no, the lead break shouldn't be the verse. The lead break should be the chorus in certain songs. And
Interesting.
This one is definitely that way, where it's like
Right.
if it was the verse, it would be too morbid or
Gotcha.
too like
Yeah.
just like God, it's more of a drudge. So yeah. I like this verse.
It's a long walk home. My shirt's too thin. I don't care about the stink in the air or the goose flesh on my skin. The years creep up and time is cruel. And in my head are all the things I said to make me look a goddamn fool, and that's hard to read.
A goddamn fool.
It's funny. It's
Find it hard.
the thing I love about my brother's songwriting, especially,
Right.
and yours and Chris's. William really nails this. Is specific imagery, like,
Yeah.
and so I wanted to include that line of time creeps up. But no, I'm sorry. The years creep up and time is cruel. I think that's what it is. But I wanted to include that sort of, a little bit of broad. It's not even imagery, like the
Right.
thing you kind of usually want to stay
Right.
away from in songwriting, where it's like very broad terms. And that's why I like the beginning of the verse that is stink in the air, my
Yeah.
shirt's too thin, I've
Yeah.
got goose flesh on my skin. So yeah.
Yeah.
Room full of stars.
No bridge. Didn't do a bridge
Yeah.
in this song.
Showing off again on the lead. No, I think I will say, like, when we've played it here as a band, Doug will join in.
I
and
really
y'all do
like
it.
where it's
Yeah,
going.
yeah,
I
yeah.
really
I
like
like
where
to
it's
hear it.
going.
And then I also like we're throwing in some harmonies on it too. That are
Loved
good.
it. This is very retrospective. That's yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
No,
That's I mean, yay!
it was so good to be, well, really, my goal was just to be able to walk in this room and say, I got a new song.
Well, after 17 years, that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah. Popping a big creative zit. That's all it was. No, it's it was cool. And it was also, I sent it to friends. So that's a crappy basement recording, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to not do the thing that I would have always done, which would be keep it to myself or delete that song or that sort of thing. So I sent it to my buddies. I sent it to my brother. I was like, here, I wrote a song. Because that's the thing I love about when Chris walks in practice, when you walk in practice. It's like, I've got a new one. And then 1 out of 100 times we've played one where the first time we played it, it's been a little like we're searching a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris is like, we'll get there or we won't.
Yeah, no, that's...
And we inevitably do, because that approach is so carefree of like, this is art. We should be failing and then also succeeding, and there's actually no such thing as failing when you take that kind of approach.
I completely agree. I love what Chris brings to the table when it is just I'm going to throw it out here. No, we're still working on it. The... I don't know that I would call it carefree.
It's not,
but
carefree.
It's like it's like an understanding that like that's a start.
Well,
I got an idea rolling around, and
this is a process.
Yeah.
There was I forget that. There's my brother and I've talked for hours, thousands of hours around campfires about the crossover and the similarity in approach to different kinds of art, performance art.
Right.
And theater is the same way, where it's like I used to be in an improv group, which is horrible as it no, but it was great because it was actually very true to like the real nature of improvisational theater, which is 50% of everything we're going to do is crap.
And like you understand that right out the gate.
Yeah, and it's like, well, but it's also not crap. It's like it's interspersed with not. So it's all one thing. So as soon as you let go of the like, hey, and you were the one that really opened my eyes. No, seriously, to you being like, getting out of your own way actually means this actually isn't about you.
Yeah.
It's actually about getting a really good song out.
Yeah.
And I love the fact when we perform songs here, practice songs here.
I would say perform. That's fine.
Yes, to an audience of us.
We put on some of the best shows here. I'll just throw that out there. I know this means nothing to anyone listening to this except for the people in my band, but I'm telling you right now, we put on some of the best shows we've ever done right here in this basement.
I agree. No, seriously, some of the best. I love that show that I played at. You guys put on a great show with me.
We got paid. But
great liquor.
It was a
really good liquor.
Really good show.
The bar is amazing. No, it's I love the fact that that's something that I have done with Soy Hero.
Yes.
And
I will put some links in the notes of this episode so that
sweet
Soy Hero, the band that you played with for years, you still do.
Technically still do.
Yes.
I was my brother and Doug Austin and myself, and whenever like William would bring a song to the table and be like, I want to let's try it out. And what that meant was I'm bringing the song, the structure, the lyrics, and then let's see where it goes.
Right.
And it's the same thing with Dr. Howe, where there have been songs that have changed dramatically from like...
absolutely, yeah.
And it's because what we're doing with a song that I used to play with Soy Hero called I Got Time, it's like the big band version of it.
Right.
It's got Oz in the back. I was like, oh my God, I wrote a song that has Oz in it now. I love that. I love it.
Well, I do like a good
Let's try it.
See, it's nice, and when it's in tune, it's even better.
You said these episodes are 30 minutes or 300?
300 minutes.
Good,
no, we're good. We're good.
Now, what song of yours are we going to do?
Okay, so
Let's get the actual talented.
No. I again trying to focus on this podcast, this episode being about songwriting, and I've decided I wanted to bring up a song I wrote years and years ago.
Okay.
And I recorded it on very old equipment. I'm interested to see how it actually sounds here
Oh,
because
sweet.
I've not listened to it at this level, but it's just me, me and a guitar kind of thing,
Yep.
and a couple tracks. I don't remember how many because this was 25 years ago at least.
Nice.
No, actually, it's closer to 30 years ago now.
It'll probably sound better than my song. Seriously.
No.
Some of that equipment.
But
From the old days.
but it was from a time when I was in one of those moments where I was able to write a few songs kind of quickly, and
Yeah.
just when you get that kind of traction, you're like, oh, this feels good, and all of a sudden you're just kind of turning out some interesting songs. So this song, oddly enough, even in as old as it is, hasn't changed a whole lot.
What is it called?
It's called The Garden Club. And interestingly enough, like I never, when I'm telling you, get out of your way and finish your song, right?
Yeah.
I never complete a song. A song for me is like never done. However,
I love that.
However,
Okay. Yeah.
that doesn't mean you don't say it's done enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To take to the band,
that's really
to
cool.
play out loud,
Yeah.
live and to do. But I have found over the years that I will still listen to something that's, 5, 10, 15 years old and be like, oh, I don't like that phrase anymore. And there's a phrase in this song I don't like anymore either. But like I'll go back and change. So when I perform it today, it'll be different
Wow.
than it was. Because like, to me, it's
Wow.
it's what you get as a songwriter. It's your song.
Yeah.
You can do with it what you want. Slap it around if you need to. I'm just saying.
Okay. That visual was a little, Mike just slapped his hand like he was slapping a person.
You got
Okay.
to slap that song into shape.
Before we do,
Yeah.
lyrics or music? Which do you write for?
For me, it's usually music.
Okay.
For me, it's usually music.
Me
But,
too.
man, there are so many ways to look at a song because, like, you can look at lyrics and say, like, I want the lyrics to mean something.
Mhm.
But what I like to do is work with the music first.
Yeah.
And then the music will tell me what kind of sounds, and then the sounds will turn into words. That's kind of my process.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's like exactly.
But then you end up with things that make no sense at all.
Well, I listen to like old Talking Heads songs or
Yeah,
like
right.
where it's just abstract poetry. It's
Right.
amazing. But
Right.
it's also like that. How do you write something like that? And I think you start with the
Right.
music that way. I would love to be able to
Hopefully.
write the other way. Because think
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Go to a coffee shop, write 9 poems. You got 9
Yeah.
songs. Yeah.
I'm working on that. Because I do want to kind of explore the idea of like writing the lyrics first.
It'd be great to say, I want to write a song about.
About something.
And then go do that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. Sometimes I prefer the music telling me what the song is going to be about.
Whatever process you're using, keep using the process.
well,
I'm serious.
it's-
I love your songs, man.
Well, thanks. I'll play this one and we'll see. Like I said, a long time ago, and I'm gonna see. I got to get the right.
What's funny is
volume and what.
I think I know which song. I hope it's the song I'm thinking.
Yeah, you've heard this. Yeah, I think
Because I think it's one of my favorite songs of yours.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah. This is it. Yeah. Yeah.
We got that. Lots of background sound there.
I love
yeah.
That's clear, though.
Look at them play.
My voice is so young.
There's no telling when they're gonna stop now.
Listen to you. You
What do
sexy
they know?
young bitch.
How they find their way on out.
Oh, that's just gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
They can't help it now. They're in the
And see, that's my attempt at trying the hitting the guitar. I forget a little bit of that thump in there.
That's just how I learned. That's how my brother taught me to play.
Can't help it now.
I think this is also 3 tracks.
In the garden club,
Let's get down to that E minor.
That we all count as one. And if you believe, it will make you stronger in the long run. Or so I've been told. Oh, in the garden.
So was there a... Where did the song come from?
Oh, it's an embarrassing story.
We should tell it after.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I'll let you know where it came from.
Excellent.
Because the phrase garden club was given to me.
We'll have to explore that. Unpack, as the kids say these days.
But I like the idea of talking about children and talking about getting older and being in the garden, like a whole life thing, right?
Look at them play as they run through the garden. There's no telling when they're gonna stop now. There's no telling
And
when.
that's an allusion to death.
Exactly.
There's no telling when.
They're gonna stop now.
There you go. All right.
I love
all right.
that.
Thank you. So yeah, the garden club.
See, to me, growing up in Richmond,
Mhm.
half in Richmond, half in Gloucester, growing up in West End, Richmond, garden club was not a good connotation for me. 'Cause that was
Interesting.
the ladies of the garden club.
Yes. Yes.
I
Okay.
declare, I do believe he's a Democrat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the phrase garden club came to me from a commercial. I was watching TV, and there was a commercial for what was it? It was geared towards elderly people
Okay.
who were, I think, going through catheter issues. Okay. So the commercial.
I don't want to know what the garden club.
So the commercial is about these, like, hey, we got these new catheters. I'm just saying it's going to work out for you. It's great. And in the background, to show you how life has gotten better.
Right.
Right. There's these old people getting together. Yay. They're like hanging out, and they have this banner that says, "Welcome to the garden club."
To the garden club.
And they're all happy because they've all just recently cathed, and they're feeling good. In a good place.
Could you?
Now, here's this.
Did you just invent a phrase? They just cathed.
Well, I think I've heard that before. I'm pretty sure it's
Let's
used
drink
as
a Red
verb.
Bull and calf. Bro, you cathing? I'm cathing. What are you guys going to do on Thursday? We're going to jam and calf.
So as weird of a place. Maybe the word is not weird. I don't know what word. But anyways, for some reason, this was, I was living in Northern Virginia at the time. I'm watching TV. This commercial came on. I thought, oh my God, what a weird commercial. And then I saw in the background the banner around these, very happy elderly people saying, "Welcome to the garden club." I'm like, "Oh, the garden club. That, it could be beautiful." And then my brain went into the young kids and old people, and like it's a subtle dance, and it's about death, and I don't know these things. Anyways, that has got to be the weirdest place a song has ever come from.
Good Lord.
A catheter commercial.
I'm so happy.
There you go. That's where the magic happens.
Oh, bro, after this podcast, we're totally going to jam and calf.
Yeah. So anyways, that was two of our songs. We've talked wonderfully about
and we're only
how it works.
Yeah, I think we only took 9.5 hours.
Yeah, only.
Yeah.
So this was fun. Thank you for joining me, Christian.
Thank you, sir. This was great.
And here's to the future, and hopefully we will write more and more songs, whether or not they are wherever they come from.
Because we're going to get out of our own way.
Oh, we're going to get out of our own way.
I still don't know what that means.
We're going to get out of our own way.
Yep.
Maybe watch more TV.
No.
No.
catheter commercials lead to something.
Anyways, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.
Want to thank Ruby's Arcade for being our wonderful sponsor, and we'll see you next week.